G'day guys, dtGTatOv here for game number 8 between dtG and NS Hosio from the IPLTAC, the Team Arena Challenge. We're going to have a Protoss here from dtG to try and deal with NS Hosio Seal and try and take the victory. It says Elize, but it is actually dtGTatOv, one of the really decent Protoss on dtG. Unfortunately, not too long after these games were played, dtGTatOv left dtG and joined up with his good friend Huangxin on its Gosu. So it's a little bit unfortunate for dtG, but we'll find out what happens here in this game. Of course, it's a great play here to see dtGTatOv here. As I said, he's a really good player. We've got NS Hosio Seal up at the top right. This is Darkness Falls. It looks a little bit like a cross between Zelnaga Caverns and Entomb Valley, but no, this is actually Darkness Falls. We've got a very simple natural expansion to secure. There is the small ramp leading down, and then a sort of a tiny bit of a little bit bigger of a ramp leading into the natural expansion, and then you can secure that. Of course, as we can see, dtGTatOv is going to go for the Forge Fast Expand here. Very simple to secure that. You just need a couple of buildings to make sure that is nice and tight against any Zerglings or anything like that, and probably we'll see how his tech proceeds from there. So that previous game, just amazing stuff from Seal, just catching a couple of nice Baneling landmines there and doing a great job of just really choking the marine supply from Miso. And Miso unfortunately went for an attack into the third base, but I think was just unprepared for how well Seal had macroed up. He was up at max supply with a lot of Banelings, a lot of Lings, all prepared by the time that Miso was able to push out in towards Seal's third, and it was just a huge hit that Miso took. And then of course that very sexy Baneling landmine at the end was able to clean up a lot of the Marines that were trying to base raid and base that's a cross between base race and base trade, guys. Put that in your dictionary. In the base trade there, and yeah, it looks as if Seal was able to just clean that one up quite easily there. So dtGTatOv sneaking inside the main here. I don't think this probe is fully sneaky. He's being spotted there. A couple of Lings now popping out from Seal. He should be able to clean up that pylon down at the bottom of the ramp, and we'll see how he's going to take the natural expansion there. Wait, this probe has gotten away? Are you serious? Alright, so the probe has stayed alive. I'm not actually sure how that has happened. We'll see if Seal is going to find it. I'll be very, very surprised if he doesn't actually clean up that probe before it becomes an issue. Of course, if you can see a Protoss do this sort of this Forge Fast Expand, but it doesn't always mean that it's coming. It can also mean that there are some very sneaky players. I think we saw Sase do it on I think it was either Sase or Naniwa on Tal'Darim Alta, who did the generic sort of fast expand, but then went into just a very simple 4 gates. So that could be something that could come along here from dtGTatOv. He's going to be spotted now, though. The probe is finally found. We'll see if Miso comes along to clean it up. I really hope he does, because it'd be a shame to see this awesome series just go so simply to a very simple mistake, and I think he has found it. So he's just sending those Lings across. Hatchery just about to complete, and everything is just proceeding as normal here for these guys. The probe, where did the probe go? No, it's still alive. There we go, and it finally does go down. The probe getting caught out by a couple of the Lings. Very clever maneuver there. You'll see that that what Seal did was send down 2 of the Lings. He had 4, so he kept some at the back. He sent some straight in to try and deal with the probe, of course, because the general way to get the probe out of trouble is to click onto some minerals, and it will mineral walk through those Lings. Now, with the Lings at the back to prepare against that, he was able to easily deal with that problem, and was then just, you know, able to clean up the probe before it got any vision. So that was pretty good stuff from him. Darkness Falls does have this very, very simple to take third base, so that is one big thing about playing against a Protoss on this map. As I said, it's a little bit like Entomb Valley with that third base that can be very easy, which means that it can be very nice for Zerg, of course, but it also means that your Protoss opponent can take a third very easily and will not have any troubles holding it up. So that can be a big factor in how a Zerg plays this map, and it looks as if the secondary scouting probe will get spotted and taken out here by Seal. Got 1 hit left, and that guy's down. There he is. So no extra information gained there by dtGTatOv just at the moment. So he's going to push out with a couple of Zealots and a Stalker just to try and clean up those remaining Zerglings on the map. Does get 2 of them down. He's going to keep pushing for some more. Perhaps he'll keep that watchtower for a little bit longer just to make sure he can see if anything is going on. dtGTatOv, meanwhile, back inside the main base, has gotten up 2 of the gas. He's also got the 3rd, and the 4th is just on the way. Perhaps a little sign of what tech he's going for. He's got +1 to weapons, which is also just about to complete as well. It's about 3/4 done. Some more lings now popping out for Seal. He is aware that there is this little strike force just moving through, and he could actually lose some of his units here. It does cancel a creep tumor, which was very nice there. The Queen having to retreat for the moment, and I don't think this is going to go too well for dtGTatOv here. He does not have +1, so these Zealots aren't going to be able to easily mince up these lings, and they do go down. The remaining lings should be able to get some more map vision and look pretty good here for Seal. Now, we can see that dtGTatOv is starting to tech up. We do have a Twilight Council on the way. Be prepared. We could have a perhaps a +2. I'm just sort of looking at the timings here. I'm thinking this could be a +2 Blink Stalker attack. We've got an extra 3 gates that have now completed here for dtGTatOv in the top side of his base. Secondary Overlord is now going to come through. Did find that one of the gates was there, but didn't see the extra 2, but he should be able to find it very soon. Now, Probe has gotten out on the map as well. A little bit surprised that Seal didn't have a ling, just sort of checking out the front side of the base, but he is going to have to deal with probably what looks to be sort of waiting on exactly what's happening. +2 to weapons on the way. Robo facility also coming through, so this could be that combo Robo Blink Stalker attack, which has become very, very popular in PvZ. It's a great way to deal with roaches very easily. You can also deal with things like the impending attacks from lings with a lot of these sentries as well, and then you can let me just close the door. You can also deal with some other things that also can cause some issues as well. So with a lot of Stalkers out, you can get this blink up, and the blink can also deal with mutas and those sorts of things that can be quite a problem. So dtGTatOv just pushing in with a little bit of a strike force again, just a few Zealots here, just trying to put some pressure in and see exactly what's going on Seal's side of the map. Can see that the 3rd base is there as well, so he knows that the economy is going to get a little bit of a boost in a second here for Seal, but there is pathogen glands on the way. The infestors are going to be looking quite nice once they get out. They'll be able to get some fungal growths down. Beautiful timing on that, just by the way. Looking at the infestor eggs here, they're going to be out by the time the pathogen glands is actually complete, meaning that the fungal growth will be able to be used straight away. So couple of Immortals on the way, and it looks as if dtGTatOv is not actually going to be worried about pushing for some sort of timing here, just using the 4 gates that he has, of course the Robo as well. He's going to just be making sure that his base is secure, and interestingly a Dark Shrine is on the way. I'm very surprised to see that. You don't actually normally see that at this sort of timing. It's normally either a little bit earlier or a little bit later, so you can get some harassment done in the later stages of the game. But he does have these proxy pylons out, which could really help him with getting the DTs into the Zerg base here, and with dtGTatOv, with those DTs, he could look very good if he can get some good hits with those. But it looks as if we're going to have just a simple probe transfer down to the 3rd base. Beautiful timing there from dtGTatOv. He's getting an observer out to make sure he can get some map vision as well. This probe, what is this guy doing? I think he's just scouting at the top of this ramp just to make sure that no surprise attacks can come through there. A little bit surprised that he's not just putting up a pylon there to spot, but I don't know, that's not me. That's how he's going to do it. We did have a couple of proxies out here. We had one that was just up the top, but that has been spotted. We've got this extra one just down to the bottom side as well, which could be used. And more Immortals now coming out here from dtGTatOv, so it looks as if he's really just making sure he's prepared for anything here with the Blink Stalkers and a couple of cannons at each of the mineral lines. Oh no, he doesn't have any there. Alright, so he's just got 1 cannon prepared. Alright, whatever. But he's going to be getting up the 5th and 6th gas here, which is going to mean he's going to be able to move in a really nice position, and in fact he is actually teching up to those Templar, so he's now just making sure that the back of this base here is walled off so that the lings can't run by there. Very interesting spot for that Templar Archives. I'm really surprised he put that so far in the open here, but Either way, he should be prepared for this incoming attack here. Well aware that this is on the way. We've got a lot of roaches and these infestors as well. Getting prepared for this, just spreading out some of these units, making sure that he's not going to get fungled all over the place and just absolutely massacred by that. The roaches, of course, will do a lot of damage when the fungal goes down. And now it looks as if... I'm really not sure why Seal is going to push in against this. Here he comes, but he is going to drop in some of the beach balls there. Beautiful force fields at the back as well. We're going to help out with defending against the roaches, but just beach balls, it's like a net. They're just going straight over the force fields there, and the infested Terrans are doing quite a lot of damage here. And dtGTatOv looks as if he may lose some of this position. He's definitely going to lose that Templar Archives. The infested Terrans and the roaches now focusing that down. It does go down quite easily. Lots of force fields being used here. The infested Terrans are about to go down because their timer is just about up. And there we go. So we are just left with a few roaches. dtGTatOv should be able to deal with this with the remaining forces. He's got a couple of mortals there. They do have +3 to weapons, so he should be fine. But now a stream of lings now coming through. No more force fields available, and we only have stalkers around at the moment to defend against those. You're going to need to use some of that blink there. He doesn't actually get any blink. What is going on back here for dtGTatOv? He didn't actually get any DTs inside. The proxy pylon did go down, so he's not going to be able to get those DTs into the mix at the moment. More stalkers are going to come inside, and there we go, finally getting some DTs out. We'll see if they are actually able to get some presence on the map, because if he can deny this fourth, he could perhaps consider himself in a good spot. But look at that creep spread. That is actually insane. His creep vision from Seal, the vision from Seal is everywhere, with units just all over the place. We've got lings in beautiful positions there to spot any possible drops or anything like that. In fact, like that one that he just saw. And then we have this creep spread absolutely everywhere. So that was a really good job from Seal getting all of that out. He's now got a prism that he'll have to deal with, which is probably going to come inside the backside of the base here. But there are mutas out now. He's got a big group of mutas out. There is a massive flock. There are 15 mutas out on the map now. In fact, there are more than that. There are now up to 18 mutas and a few more on the way as well. So dtGTatOv is really going to need that Templar tech if he wants to stay in this game, because once those mutas get up to that high count, it is actually really difficult to try and stop them from getting any sort of damage on the map. And now, as we can see, DT is just poking around, trying to get some more damage done. He's trying to deny this another attempted fourth base here, but I really like that Seal is taking the top left base as well. So he's just going to make sure that he's getting his options up for his bases that stay alive. The DT does get sniped away, and Overseer coming to the rescue along with some of those lings as well. And it looks as if dtGTatOv now is starting to prepare for those mutas. A couple of cannons in the mineral lines is actually not going to be able to do it this time. There are so many mutas out now. He's got a total of how many is that? We've got hang on, we're just watching this battle. We got 24 mutas there, I believe that is. The Stalker's blinking in, should be able to deal with some of that. He does have the +3 to the weapons, really does help here. But now we've got an attack inside the third base here. Ling streaming through, just a little bit of a distraction there at the natural expansion. DT's on the ground, no spotting units here for Seal, and now he is actually perhaps going to have to deal with a big force that's going to pop out here now. He's sniping down. dtGTatOv doing a brilliant job sniping down the infestors. No more fungal growths are available for him. The infested Terrans get picked up easily by the DTs, and now I think we may see a big attack coming here from dtGTatOv. He does have a lot of immortals in the mix here. We've got stalkers and the DTs as well. The big problem is if there are going to be a lot of lings, and there are a lot of lings out on the map. We've currently got a total of 66 lings now out on the map. We've got 11 mutas. Looks as if Seal wants to base trade here. The lings trying to get through into the cannon, but they're going to get blocked by these probes that are on stop position command. And now pushing back, it looks as if dtGTatOv is happy to base trade. He's got a lot of immortals which easily sweep through buildings, of course, doing that bonus damage. Not to mention the DT is going to be doing a lot of work here on the mineral lines as well. dtGTatOv splitting up his forces. He's going to try and march inside the main. What is dtGTatOv going to do back at his main base? I'd love to see a bunch of sentries come out here. Perhaps a couple of DTs to form an Archon just to make sure he's okay against the Mutas as well. But he's actually just blocking up the base here, just clogging that hole. Now the Protoss forces moving inside, dispatching of hatches left, right, and center. A couple of DTs now at the base down at the southern side, also trying to deal with the Lings. There is a massive flower of spine crawlers just completing there, and not sure what happens with that, but Seal has actually cancelled that. Meanwhile, inside the main base, going to lose the hatch, the macro hatch, not to mention the hive as well. That is going to be big trouble there for Seal, and it looks as if I'm not sure if he's going to actually be able to do this in time. There are not enough Mutas to actually deal with this big attack, so the DT finds this hidden base up the top side here. He's going to have to get rid of that Spore Crawler if he wants to keep this DT alive. There is a second Spore Crawler as well, and now an Overseer, so he should be able to clean up that DT before it gets too much done. The Mutas now coming through. There's a lot more Mutas now, so he's morphed in a few more, which is really nice. And it looks as if TtGTatOv is going to come back to try and defend against this. If he can get back and defend before too many of these gates go down, he could be okay, because the rest of his forces are going to go across. We do have a nice amount of Stalkers here. I don't think there's enough to deal with the Mutas if they decide to switch roles and come across to defend the top left-hand side, but as we can see, Stalkers coming in to try and defend against the Mutas. They will dispatch a few of those before they can depart the base too quickly, and the rest of the units now up the top side here for TtGTatOv. He's going to try and get rid of this hatchery. If he can get rid of the hatch, he will at least be able to see what buildings are still out on the map there for Seal. And now the Immortals are going to try and deal with that. The Stalkers with their +3 are going to be easily able to deal with a lot of these Mutas. I don't think they'll be able to clean up completely, but they should be fine to deal with a lot of those. And there we go. It looks as if the Roaches, I'm not sure where they've come from, but they are going to try and deal with that. The rest of the Stalkers now coming up. Seal should be losing this game, I am thinking, because he's just got nothing else left once these Mutas are dead. Beautiful harassment though, and a GG from Seal. And that is it. We've got dtG winning this clan war 5-3. Doing a great job there is TtGTatOv in that final game. Just biding his time despite the multitude of attacks at the natural and the third base that he was able to hold up through. He was able to take care, just persevere and just hold up until his upgrades were all ready. He had a nice decent force consisting of those Immortals and the DTs as well, and then was just able to push back and then come back and counter at the same time, at the right time that he needed to. So great job by dtG there. As I said, if you want to catch more of the IPL Team Arena Challenge, make sure you jump onto youtube.com/IGN Pro League, and of course there are multitudes of other games from these various players out there on the magical internets. If you want to have a look, just go on to teamliquid.net, have a look at the Team Liquid player database, and you can find them on there. And of course you can always just search YouTube as well. If you want to see some more content from dtG, make sure you let me know, and I'll hit up the guys and see if I can get some more replays. Otherwise, I'll see you guys later.